Welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Firesnow.
This is Quay Theory.
And this is Ice Queen.
Thank you both for joining me today. I am so excited that we are getting together to talk about episode 6 of the House of Dragons.
It was a good episode.
It was a really good episode.
Yes, so we saw a big time jump where everybody is 10 years older and we've got a lot of new actors.
So I have a little bit of game gossip about the time jump. I was reading an article on both actors that play Rhaenyra, Millie and Emmy had to completely stay away from each other. The director said, I do not want y'all near each other, do not talk to each other, because he did not want them copying their acting style.
Now that's some really good game gossip. It's a new segment we're going to be doing called Game Gossip. I'm excited about that.
Mortal life, if not the pursuit of legacy. We play an ugly game.
If you are to be a strong queen, your subjects must fear you.
Everything that House Targaryen possesses is owed to it.
Someone stole Vhagar.
There is a debt to be paid. This is the highest of treasons.
Promise you in time, you and I together will prevail.
Now they see you as you are.
So I've got a fun fact. Did you know, they spoke about this on the podcast, they did a single shot in the very first scene of this episode. A single shot's where they start a scene and they basically follow them.
Princess, the Queen has requested that the child be brought to her.
A boy, I've just heard.
Yes.
Well done. Where are you going?
She wants to see him.
Now?
Mikhail Sapochnik, the director and co-showrunner now, who, directed some of the great episodes of the Game of Thrones, including, Battle of the Bastards and many of the other greats. He wanted to use the use of the Red Keep because they actually built the whole castle. And since they built the whole castle, he wanted to use it. So he did a single shot. And so that shot from where she's giving birth, all the way where the Queen makes her bring the baby, right? She insists she's going to take her baby. So she walks all the way through, all the way to the Queen's room. I mean, that's a single shot, continuous. Let's talk about the birth since we started out with that. Let's talk about the births. We had 2 major births in this show, one at the very beginning and one more toward the end. So we've got the birth of the new baby Joffrey, who all the sons of Rhaenyra, Jace, Luke, and Joffrey, obviously are not Lenore's.
Yes. I immediately going in got really irritated with Alicent. Rhaenyra is in so much fucking pain. And we understand the pain of having, giving birth. She is really going to bring her this kid. Like, are you serious? I hated her right there at the beginning.
Or what? Did she expect her to just let someone take her baby to her right after she gave birth to it?
Everyone's character has changed, especially Alicent, from being, I'm going to be supporting you, I'm going to be helping you out, I got your back. And then when she found out all the lies.
I do believe he has his father's nose.
Do keep trying, Selena. Sooner or later you may get one who looks like you.
She's tired of being quiet. She's tired of hiding in the back shadows. She's up front and forward and voicing her opinion. Dying King's not going to tell her what to do.
You may do as you wish, husband. When I am cold in my grave.
She's now all of a sudden going, I'm not going to put up with anyone's bullshit. When she talks to her son Aegon about his siblings and what he's got to remember, what's going to happen to him. She grabs his face and she's aggressive. And
your very life could be forfeit. Emma's as well. She can move to cut off any challenge to her succession.
Then I want
You are the challenge! You are the challenge, Aegon! Simply by living and breathing!
So we're going to have to do that for the game to start, right?
You're the king's firstborn son. And what they know, what everyone in the realm knows, in their blood and in their bones, is that one day you will be our king.
I've got another fun fact. So the window where her son is relieving himself, if I'm just going to say it that way nicely, that is the same window where King Tommen, jumped out of the window to commit suicide. Yes, and from Game of Thrones. It sure is. Same window.
The one shot where they have to walk all the way to her, and the next person that they run into, the very next character they run into, is Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you can see his coldness, right?
Oh, speaking of his coldness, he called her a cunt.
Yes,
I can say that.
I was disappointed, though. I was disappointed in his turning into a bully and basically getting one child to bully the other and having an unfair match of a child that's, you got a teenager against a child. I mean, come on.
It makes sense when you get your heart broken, when when you're young and in love. I mean, he made a big, bold gesture. He was like, let's take off, let's get married. And she broke his heart, He gave up, what did you say, Ice Queen?
His honor.
I did not realize that the gold cloak was beneath the Kingsguard.
Your interest in the Princeling's training is quite unusual, Commander. Most men would only have that kind of devotion toward a cousin.
How dare he put his hands on the Kingsguard?
Or a brother. Or a son.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Why is he hanging around all the time? Well, doesn't he have a job to do?
Right.
It makes it so obvious.
Lord as much.
Made it easy for Cole to bait him into that fight.
Accusations of an uglier treachery.
They introduced a new dragon. What did y'all think about that?
Oh, yeah. Jace's dragon, Vermax.
Yeah, I mean, I like that they got a new, and they're all together. They're being typical boys and playing pranks on each other. And
I've got a fun fact. The dragon pit, for those who don't know, we got to see it totally built up. Even the cave, where you go down, that Game of Thrones filmed their ending meeting in the last couple of episodes when they brought the living dead, when they called the meeting with Cersei and all of the leaders of the realm to convince them to fight together.
Yes.
That is the same location. So hopefully we will get to see in this series what happens and how it becomes destroyed.
And that's pretty much the end of all the dragons that we know of until, Daenerys comes with those eggs, which we all think came from Vhagar when she took off. Lady Leanna was talking about where she was spotted.
Right. That actually leads us to the second birth we experienced. Lady Leanna.
When that doctor went up to him and was like, I can't get the baby to come, we can cut the baby out of her, but the mother won't survive. She was like, oh, no. I'm not dying like that. Like she said, I want to die a dragon rider's death. I'm taking my butt outside and I'm gonna burn. I'm gonna have my dragon burn me.
An honorable death, yeah.
That was Vhagar. Fun fact, Vhagar was ridden by Visenya, who was one of the sister wives of Aegon the first conqueror of the Seven Kingdoms. And of course, we did hear Lyanna discuss that, where Vhagar was and how they would hear her songs of sorrow close by where Lyanna and Lenore grew up. Vhagar is a she.
I think it's a she. It's a she.
Vhagar is a she because she is also, fun fact, supposed to be mother to Dany's dragons. So yes, her eggs. So Vhagar was very old, but I could really see her like, you want me to burn you? Like, what? No. Could you see that in her face?
The dragons have to their riders.
That was a really good scene. Quay theories. Sorry that Damon is still the same actor.
I know.
Some more game gossip is when the directors and the showrunners were writing the show, when they would go in and discuss things and say what kind of actor they would like to play him, they kept saying, oh, someone like Matt Smith, like a Matt Smith kind of style. So then they just asked if he would audition. So they cast that part with him in mind.
Wow.
Mostly his voice I don't like, so for that character. I did notice that he's talking less, and when he does, he's deepening his voice. I think that's a smart thing to do to sound older and more wiser.
I have some game gossip about that as well.
Do you?
You're going to see throughout the remainder of the show, at some points, he's not going to have too many. He'll have some action scenes, but not too many, because Matt Smith himself, in the middle of filming, he hit a disc in his neck. He finished the season, but then had to go into physical therapy afterwards.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he injured himself.
Well, you've been doing your homework. My goodness.
Yeah, because I think they really are riding like mechanical, dragons or something. Like, it's a lot of physical work.
There are Targaryens who don't burn.
Mm-hmm.
There are some, but not all Targaryens don't burn. But that is, a trait that some Targaryens have. That again,
And it looks like Daemon in this episode, because he rides right.
Yeah, he rides right that puff of flames.
I mean, that was a huge flame from biggest dragon in the show.
That was interesting that you bring that up, because I didn't even think about that. But you're right. He rode right through that. Like, why did they show that? That has to be something important. Quite interesting.
I think so too. I like Damon's character being older and being, more calm, teaching his daughter Valerian, and reading books. I like that, and him not talking as much, but showing more of that side of him. It shows his 10-year aging, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now he's calmed down a lot, and he's really matured. And it kind of saddened me though when the two daughters' names were Rhaena and Baela.
Yes.
Yes, they're twins. And Baela has a dragon that hatched, but Rhaena did not have a dragon that hatched, and she was, holding it by the fire because she wants it to hatch so badly. And she said that her father ignored her. Mm-hmm. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he pays more attention to the other.
To the one that's the dragon rider.
And yes.
Mm-hmm. I was a little saddened by that. I was a little sad.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Larys the new Littlefinger. Yes?
I think he's going to be one of my favorites. Yes, finally we get some really good villainous going on. He's got that mind going. He's calm. He's like, okay. He's playing the game. He's like, all right, let's play. Let's do this. I really like him.
So let's talk about the burning of Harrenhal and what happened there.
Well, I think it starts out with the queen confronting the king about his grandkids, and the king not wanting to talk about it. There's so much gossip, so much talk, to where Rhaenyra can't stop it. She has to do something about it.
We will exchange letters by Raven. Won't that be fun?
It's how unstrung my father. Am I a bastard?
You are a Targaryen. That's what matters.
And she humbles herself, and she goes in to the table with an offer, trying to fix things.
Wait. My son, Jacaerys, will inherit the Iron Throne after me. I propose we betroth him to your daughter, Helena. Let them rule together.
Most judicious proposition.
She makes that comment to Larys. She acted like it was an innocent comment about how she wished her father was there.
You cannot say your father would be impartial in this matter.
No, but he would be partial to me.
Because he would have her back. So funny, she gets so mad at the king for having his daughters back, but yet she wishes she had her dad there to have her back.
He says, you're going to reward me eventually.
Oh, yeah. Everybody playing the game has an alternative self.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how he just, with no problem, just decided to kill his own dad and brother, right? By burning Harrenhal just so he could gain favor with the queen. And
I mean, there could be a whole Tyrion thing going on. Maybe he was treated poorly for his disability.
Yeah, like I had enough. Enough is enough, and this is what I'm going to do.
So he had no heart about it. I guess I could see that. Fun fact about Harrenhal, for those of you who are Game of Thrones watchers, Harrenhal is the location where Arya was taken prisoner when she was playing cupbearer to Tywin. and they first arrive there as prisoners.
What kind of fire melts stone?
Dragonfire.
There's dragons here. No, all the dragons are dead. What's that smell?
Dead people.
But it's known to get burned down several times, right? It's supposed to be a place that's cursed, and many people die there, and it always tends to get burned down. So how ironic that we got to see in this episode Harrenhal get burned down.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. So then Rhaenyra, she makes a decision to leave.
The dragon's still in there?
I should have left years ago.
Aren't we supposed to stay? Like, this is the crucial time to stay, and she gives him the same line he gave her. Like, when the going gets tough, we just, we go.
We sail away.
As bring your lover, whatever. And they have the best dysfunctional family because they're all open with each other.
You ask me, I think they have one of the healthiest relationships of everybody in the show at this point.
Spoiler alert, everybody ready for this? If you don't want to hear it, push mute. Everyone's noticed every time right at the end they show a rat. And I really think that has to do with, I'm not sure if it's him or who hires the rat catcher. The Red Keep is full of secret passages. But so this rat catcher knows all the secret ways to get in, So does Damon, so does Rhaenyra. And there's also a Golden Cloak guy that used to be a Golden Cloak. He's retired. Those two go down in history being known as Rat and Cheese. So Rat and Cheese, and she hires them to do something that's a big game changer in the show. And I don't want to talk about it now, but we will as we keep going throughout the series. I'll bring it up. But everybody remember those two names, those two guys, Rat and Cheese, and I think that's what they're alluding to.
Seems like every episode they show us some rats, right?
Yes.
Thank you both for being here with me today. It was an exciting episode, and I can't wait to see what happens in episode 7.
Thank you for having us. Ice Queen says goodnight.
Quick Theory says goodnight.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Lady Fire Snow says, Dracarys.
Standing in a crowded room, but it feels so empty. I'm haunted by my thoughts of you, and it's killing me.